Taking a look at the Shrapnel Axe today. An interesting weapon. It's sort of a combination of a ranged and melee weapon. As soon as it hits that last combo, can get a lot of damage with the 5 different pieces of shrapnel that it shoots out. However, aside from that, never really thought of this weapon. As much as I like the idea of this weapon, I never really thought of it as a particularly good weapon because I always felt like the damage was pretty lacking. So, rather than have a run where there's going to be anything else distracting from exactly what this weapon can do, I'm going to take it out for a solo run, see how it goes. Who knows? Because it's a very interesting weapon, too. One of the few melee, well, mostly melee weapons that also scales with tactics, which is a type of play style that I don't really work with a whole lot, but I know is a favorite of some people. So, maybe this could be something good, you know, to take along with a traditional type of turret run or something like that. But for right now, I guess we'll just have to see. This time I'm also going to take a look in the sewers, just because the last run that I did with the Thunder Shield, even though at this point in time the Thunder Shield has been nerfed quite a bit, especially its parry ability, it was still a fairly easy run last time. Now, as of right now, it's going just fine, but you can never judge a run by the very first biome. This is the easiest one for a reason. The difficulty ramps up quickly. So I'm going to go through the sewers. But I don't know. There's a good chance that I might cave, turn into 3-cell mode. You'll know if the video says that it's taking place in 3-cell mode. Or it'll turn out to be a pretty decent difficulty for going up against Conjunctivius and everything like that. Conjunctivius also is a boss that I'd say you're much better going up with a range type of build, and although this isn't strictly ranged, it's effectively the same thing. So if there is any one of the new weapons that I would take up against her, this is a pretty decent choice. Probably going to be going Brutality, despite the fact that this is tactics scaling, having the lowered amount of health and the not as good set of mutations is not ideal. Especially when I'm doing a very specific challengey type of run like this. I mean, if I had a full set of items that I could bring with me, I would say that it would be a lot more enticing to take a tactics build, but as it is, I'd like to say when I was trying to grab food, of course. But as it is, you get so many advantages working with brutality versus tactics, especially if this is the only weapon you're going to have, that there's no reason to take it as of right now. You get so much less health, after all. Well, that might not even be all that big of an issue. I mean, by the time that I finished that other run with the Thunder Shield, it was a pretty decisive victory, so maybe it'll be very easy. I don't know, I'm still trying to feel out exactly the best way to go about doing these single weapon runs in the current game's landscape. Because there's a lot of possibilities, and I don't really want to jump into something, you know, I don't want to bite off more than I can chew, at least for right now. Okay, so what is the best thing to take? Vengeance would be pretty nice. I mean, Ripper is one of those mutations that seems like it would work really well, because you are constantly shooting out projectiles, and then if you're hitting them in melee range, you're also ripping out those projectiles for extra damage. But the last time that I tried to use it, it didn't really seem to work. So that's really the only reason that I would go tactics right now. Just if I got some really sick Ripper synergies. And aside from that, Parting Gift is maybe the best thing that I could possibly get. As it is, though, that's useless. Combo could be okay. I don't know if I'm really going to be hurting for damage, though. I suppose we'll see. Berserker is better for the melees, which is not on this difficulty. I don't know. Tainted Flask could be alright. I mean, after all, you get a couple flask charges in this mode. Let's just keep going with Adrenaline. Adrenaline is not... Any of the healing mutations that were introduced in the latest alpha are not great. They're very minimal heals. But they are... I do see the potential here, and I think maybe comboed... I'm going to be going very hard into Brutality for the time being. It might be something worth taking just based on Something worth taking based on... I don't even know what I was trying to do. Well, I was trying to, like, parry that hit, and I don't have a shield on. It might be something worth taking just based on the fact that I could have a much better time with it later. But the last time I was trying to use it with a frenzy type of hit... Well, frenzy type of mutation, it was terrible. Just awful. Didn't do anything. I mean, it did, like, virtually... no damage healed at all, and this is healing like 1 or 2 hit points per hit. I'm just assuming that it's going to be a slow roller. It now no longer heals based on how much damage you do. It heals based on a percentage of your HP. It just that percentage seems extremely low. That said, by the time that doesn't proc on projectiles, which is frustrating. I don't know, man. The working theory here is going to be that... Great. There we go. The working theory is that it's going to be better. By the time that I get to endgame, it'll probably be super great. And then I can take something like... a Dead Inside and not worry about falling behind too much in... Oh, this would be nice. Health and not having the potion charges to deal with it. Wow, that was not terrible. Also, burn the ground when you run. Nice stuff. Maybe some potential for synergies. I mean, this is the only way that you're going to get synergies when it comes to this mode. If you get something specific from one of the necklaces, because that's the only other piece of equipment that I am allowing myself to take, as per usual. Something like roll creates a toxic cloud would be the best, but hey, burning does a little bit of extra damage over time, and it also can set up 30% extra damage, which is not amazing, but there's something there. It's extra damage nonetheless. And I am going to be still hitting up every single one of the curse chests possible. I want to get myself absolutely yoked in this run so that I have the easiest time possible, as you do. Alright, let's just replace you. I do think that I probably shouldn't go as much brutality as possible, you know. Have like a 12-1-1, but hey, if it comes down to that, why not? That's, all I gotta do is just play the game better. Which shouldn't be anything too difficult, I'm hoping. Just want to have a couple points. 15% extra damage isn't bad, but it's really not good enough to take with me. I have 3 points in survival right now. I should be totally fine. Yeah, as always, mostly worried about curses. Curses are always just absolutely a delight to work with. Just kind of hoping to get the adrenaline proc there. There we go. And people say that it's if you dodge through like an enemy's sprite as it would be attacking you. Like if the sword comes down in, say, the strike from a... Alright, let's go. If the sword, you know, has connected with the floor, it would be considered a hit if you weren't rolling. That's when adrenaline procs. Because it's quite generous when it comes to... It's quite generous when it comes to stuff like parries. You can actually be a little bit ahead. I guess technically not behind, because otherwise then you would have been hit at that point. But it's really not terrible to get a parry really consistently. You can be very early, is what I'm saying. And I don't think that's the case with adrenaline, because there are plenty of hits that... Okay. Plenty of hits that would have been parries with adrenaline... Well, that didn't activate the adrenaline hit. Okay, and anything else? Ah! Should have known. Well, that said, unless adrenaline starts getting really good, and I'm hoping that it will later on, I don't really foresee it being something that I'm too worried about, unless I can just kind of happen into getting it to activate. I don't know, we'll see, we'll see. That said, 30 kills right now, looking good. I'd like to get the full 60 to get the largest amount of... to get the what's probably going to be the highest level of Shrapnel Axe that I'm going to get for... Be careful. that I'm going to get for quite a while here. We'll see. At least these worms are making it easy to activate it. Like I said, if you just kind of happen into it, sure. And it's very easy to happen into it with those guys. Yeah, give me random. Roll the dice, baby. All right, 30% to burning. Ooh, I like inflammable oil. I'm not going to worry about it. Ammo is something that does exist with this weapon, but you get so much with it. That stuff like the +3 ammo affix that you can get on stuff, or like the double ammo ammutation. Like ammo mutation, I guess would be how you would say it. Anyway, it's not worth it. I don't think it's ever worth it. And I had people say last time I was doing the run with Boy's Axe that wasn't worth it too. So it just feels like that's maybe something of a theme when it comes to ranged or semi-ranged brutality weapons where you really don't need extra ammo with it. Infantry grenade would be the one exception, I would say. Trying not to use the stomp, because I do consider that an attack by itself. Have done runs with stomp only. And, you know, they certainly, it certainly performed well enough that I feel confident in saying that you could consider it its own attack. Now, it is quite versatile having those ranged attacks there. Do like it quite a bit. Because, yeah, even if an enemy is, like, slightly above or below you, you can... There's enough spread on these things to still hit a lot of dudes. And, you know, smaller enemies like the bats get taken down in a single shot, even if it is just a little bit of shrapnel. Okay. Oh, good. And I guess the dodge there now activates adrenaline, too. Again, not that it really matters, but... Hey, I foresee myself using this mutation a lot. I see it being very good in the future. The ability to heal... I mean, there are, of course, already abilities to heal when it comes to using brutality. Mostly... 60, good. Mostly related to, you know, using Tainted Flask, and that's a very late game type of thing. Nice. But at the same time, there's still room for something like this, especially with Frenzy. But I want to have adrenaline for boss fights in particular, which I think are going to be some of the more difficult parts of the game. At least I'm expecting that. We'll see. I don't think... I'm actually dealing well enough with curses that I'm going to choose not to take... yeah, give that. And I'm going to choose not to take... alienation, which is probably a bad idea. I can't foresee this going very well for me. I guess we'll see, though. Let's just take Soldier's Resistance for right now. Make sure that I can get a decent amount of health by the end of this, because as of just yet, I've been avoiding getting hit. But this is about the point in time where, especially building a single stat like I've been doing, it's going to start to get... Enemies are going to start hitting real hard. And if I get hit by a Spiker or a Kamikaze Bat, that could be the end of the run. Not literally, but close. Getting flammable oil is going to be just great. It's just going to be absolutely fantastic with having this with having feats of fire right now. Because that pretty much means that I am getting a decent little combo here, even if I'm not getting the... There we are. Even if I'm not getting the exact... Nah, I'll just keep what I got for right now, for the stats alone. Even if I'm not getting the plus 30% damage yet. There's always room to find that in the future, after all. Really don't know how powerful... Yeah, you know, I was going to try to go for adrenaline there. It's not worth it. We don't know how powerful the actual fire is when we're talking about necklace affixes like this, but I can't imagine that it's too incredible. That said, it's still extra damage. I think fire might just be consistent, like consistent damage, unless you're using a weapon. Ah, I actually got it. Oh, I got adrenaline on top of there. There we go. Not bad. Unfortunately, did not really get to see exactly how much I was healing there because I was too concentrated on the enemy. Well, it's not a whole lot of damage. That was a whole lot of damage, though. But, you know, the kill streak's gone, which is unfortunate. All right. Let's take a look here. It's just nothing. It's nothing. Boy, am I glad that I grabbed that. Skill right there, or a scroll right there, because that is something that I really needed to not take a whole lot of damage. I am still not taking alienation, not taking that inside. I am still available to eat food, so if I can get that, it's only for the better. Okay. And there we go. Oh, watch out for these traps. The traps are not going to be my friend here, especially with this low amount of health. Honestly, with Conjunctivius coming up, I am going to get a potion charge, so I might as well just down the potion. Take another sip of the potion. And there we go. This is a fast weapon. I mean, one of the things that I do really like about this weapon is that it's fast. It is really speedy. I mean, as soon as you press that button, you are swinging almost immediately. And that's not true for a lot of other brutality weapons. Anything like your cursed blood oiled sword has a pretty noticeable lag time on when you press the button and when you actually hit the enemy. And that can get you in some trouble sometimes. It's not the case here. These come out fast. These come out furious. I really have to stop making references to Fast and Furious. And that's all those episodes. And I was thinking, it's just like, okay, what am I going to get here? And it's like, yeah, I wonder what you're going to get here. You only have one item turned on right now. But getting a decent amount of health now. Really do like the... I'm going to eventually have to switch out that amulet for one that has a lot of extra, an extra stat on it or so, but for right now, I learned my lesson rather than freaking out and jumping directly into the projectile this time. I played it correctly. Okay, and there were like 4 kamikaze bats up here that are the ideal sort of curse relief that I'm looking for. Got a powerful thirst for curse. And I need that alleviated by not being cursed anymore. Okay. Yeah, not going too bad at all. I mean, I know that not taking alienation would be a good idea. With something like a shield, you absolutely want that. It is just... It would be a huge mistake to try to be parrying. I mean, it only takes one hit to take you down and cursed after all. And that would be bad. Oh, here's some food. Good. And it can't be malaised up. I'm actually going to save that for later. Because as of just yet, I don't need to... Healing 50% is going to be a huge amount of overkill. So, won't need that for now. And I guess I might as well just do a full exploration of the area. It's been pretty nice and breezy so far. I mean, I would be lying if I didn't say that part of the reason why I wanted to do anything, not really. Part of the reason that I wanted to do 2-cell again was because I want a nice easy run. Been working a lot on other games right now. Was checking out Forager recently. And I mean, I pretty much played through it. Probably not going to do a series on it because it is very much a heavily grind-focused game, and that's... There would be too much editing required to make it interesting, I think. Definitely a little interesting game. Would pair well with Secrets of Grindia, which should also be finishing today, if I decide to go along with that one, due to its grind-focused gameplay. Granted, that's more of an idle game versus Grindia's RPG with grind-focusedness. Yeah, sure, that's a word. Interesting stuff. I guess, like, the main thing that I would have said about that game is that I just wanted it to have, like, a little bit better of an end game. Because it just kind of felt like, after I got to the end, it was mostly, well, I guess either I'm going to take him down. Either I'm going to just do the last little bits of grinding and the last puzzle or whatever. When you're actually told riddles in video games, that is not as much something that I'm looking forward to. Let's just say that. Or it's just like I can just call it a day because I beat pretty much everything in almost a single sitting there. And after you kind of... That's the thing with those sort of games. After you get kind of the idea of what you need to do to... goodbye, Killstreak. I'm gonna miss ya. After you get an idea of what you're doing and what, like, sort of exploits might be, the game becomes easy. Of course, that's idle games entirely. I don't know. Interesting playthrough. I think more interesting just to kind of check out the genre more than anything specifically related to the gameplay itself. So yeah, the fact that I'm going on a huge tangents here should say Shrapnel Axe is doing just fine. And I do feel like that might be a little bit of taking one of the harder areas and at the same time also... yeah, I'm going to get a lot of choices here, aren't I? And I will take that. Yeah, a little bit easier difficulty, a lot of cursed chests. You know, just overall looking pretty nice on that front. But even aside from that, you know, the axe's versatility is the thing that really helps it. It is one that you can really take anywhere and get a lot of use out of it. Which is, I guess, maybe why the damage isn't... Am I really done here? I think I am. Which is why I think that maybe the base damage is not amazing by itself. It's because they were very much planning for it to be such a weird combination type of weapon. Something that you'd probably want to pair up with like a Hokuto's bow, get a lot of extra damage based on that. Even though usually my go-to when it comes to Hokuto's bow is going for damage over time. Like, I could see it being quite good here, too. You do get a lot of hits off of the shrapnel. Also, if you have an absurdly powerful one, I could also see shrapnel... being very good for bypassing boss damage caps. But being that oh wait, I have one more key. But being that, you know, it's not a tremendously powerful weapon, I don't really think that's going to be coming up too much here. Yeah, the entire idea of of like shooting out an arrow that pierces the target or something like that, it's just that feels like exactly the sort of inspiration that led to this weapon. Because, you know, you're thinking, it's like, well, a lot of the weapons have an affix that gives you the ability to shoot out projectiles. Why not just make a weapon that does that natively? And then still give it the ability to shoot out those same projectiles. I mean, I guess, you know, you could say that's just the cherry on top, but I don't know. I feel like, give me vengeance. I could see myself getting hit a decent amount. But I don't know if it actually had some sort of ban list that included stuff that would be very redundant to what the weapon already does. I do think that it's like that would definitely do a lot in making me want to use the weapon a little bit more. Yeah, melee weapons usually not the best against Conjunctivius, but this is a special case, as you know. Also getting a lot of... I mean, fighting the tentacles is also a great time to get a lot of use out of the... so you can proc adrenaline here. Cool. A lot of use out of the fire that I'm working with. This is actually a nice advantage that you can get from specifically using brutality over anything else. Also activates there, too, which is quite good. Dang. If I could have gotten that full hit on there, that would have been great. In fact, you can do it really consistently, so that's something to think about. Okay. Yeah, it all depends on how Conjunctivius Hey, another adrenaline proc. Nice. I thought that would be considered a ranged attack. Yeah, it can be a real weird type of situation when you are working with Conjunctivius and melee weapons. How often is she going to get next to you? The answer is usually pretty often, but sometimes it does feel like you're maybe waiting for quite a while before it gets in a position where you can start to hit her. However, with the... Nice. However, with the stuff that I'm working with right now, it's going just fine despite that. And we can do that and get a lot of heals. Well, a lot of heals. Get some heals. Now, I do actually have to hit her with the melee strike, I think, to actually get the healing off. And it's not that much anyway, but still. You can have it on almost this entire fight, which is pretty nice. That said, I know that also at high cell mode, why would you risk going into here? Getting malazed up is not worth having constant healing. Because malaise is so much more dangerous than the health you're going to be taking. If only I could have saved one of those pieces of watermelon. I mean, the thing with the hero is that he doesn't actually have any pockets on this suit. It's like wedge it between one of the big shoulder blades on this costume, which is the one you get for beating Hand of the King on two cell mode, I think. Okay, at least I got him with the big. Yeah, there we go. Even avoided the bullet hell attack. All right, nice. And what are my 2 axes? It's okay. I mean, that gives me the burn synergy, but I think compared to what I'm working with right now, that's not really that big of a deal. I'm not going to go graveyard this time. I don't want to go into the cavern right now. And Slumbering Sanctuary, if I do fail the whole... Thank you. Next part of the game, second half of the game, I guess. It'll also be easier to go through an area where I can fight the concierge and not have to go fight the Conjunctivius again. Unlike the graveyard, which has a lot of cursed chests and always be fighting Conjunctivius. Incomplete 1 is for closers. That's not its name anymore. All right, just get a bunch of activations of adrenaline. See, even though it's still not doing too much damage right now, it's still gonna be good enough. And my knives are better. Not actually the throwing knives that you can get though, so come on, get out there. Not quite the correct comparison, but the sentiment is still there, certainly. And just because there aren't going to be as many cursed chests, I hope. Well, and I kind of hope and I kind of don't. Just... Alright, fine. Yeah, right, teleporting enemies. You get so used to enemies teleporting at you all the time that it's weird when it doesn't happen. And hit him. Blast him, Dad. Alright. Like I said, still gonna be getting all of the cursed chests. So mad that I keep getting hit by this. It's because that last little hit that you get off of the... No, not supposed to be doing that. The last little hit that you get off of the combo does keep you in place for just long enough. Yeah, the start might be very... I don't want to go for that yet, but I think I might have to. Yeah, the start might be very quick, but the last couple hits do freeze you in place a little bit more than other weapons. I'm just gonna do it. Okay, that was nice bunny hopping there. I know that's not what bunny hopping is, but that was the first thing that came to mind when I saw Little tiny jumps. Teeny tiny baby jumps. Thank you for not having arbiters in here anymore. I hate them so. Well, one of the nice things about the golem is that they will be able to activate adrenaline quite often. Come on. I told you that the enemy is starting to get tanky from this point out. And I'm back with a quite good build too. Got poison and poison synergy. Decided to switch up my mutations a little bit just to get the maximum amount of healing, and yet that didn't really help me too much, considering still not doing great on the whole health front. I mean, you remember that I did just also get a potion charge at the end of the fight too, so oh, come on. That was close. Anyway. I should be able to afford another potion charge here and everything else. So it's not going to be terrible. I just gotta be careful. And as much as it might not seem like a very good idea to be taking necromancy, I am getting a surprising amount of usage out of it. There. How was that for some dodging? Oh boy, I hope I don't get hit in the next couple seconds, because that would seem very unfortunate. At least from my perspective. I don't know, maybe it's a hilarious bit of, self-irony, depreciation. Yeah, whatever. Let's just go, because I do declare that this is probably where I'm looking to be getting food shop. I want to say it's a food shop. And I would really enjoy if I could go find that food shop, because even though I will get cursed, I'm going to take... I'm going to lose out on money. Screw it. In for a penny, in for etc. I want that potion charge, but that's fine. If I manage to get through here without... manage to get through here easy enough, I'll have a potion charge coming up for me anyway after the Timekeeper fight, which will be just great. Alright, and it does continue to try to hit me. And it would definitely hit me there, unquestionably so, if I decide to stick around for any more than a couple seconds. Yeah, I mean, it's not like I'm the only one that can hit enemies on a different level platform, after all. It is a shared ability by a number of dudes, including myself. Duck down! Ah! Words are just, like, escaping my brain into the ether. Okay. Should probably... it's just waiting for me, apparently. There. All right. There's the curse lifted. I'll see if I might be able to afford that potion charge regardless. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I don't have a lot of confidence, if I'm being honest here, though. For example, I just checked to see that I was actually recording sound right now, because that's a sort of lack of confidence that you expect out of me as of right now. Well, really, as long as I watch out for invisible enemies, I should be okay. Got 16 points of brutality right now. It's probably getting to the point where it would be worth maybe going for a little bit of Tainted Flask action, but also feel like that's might be a little bit premature as well. We'll see. I don't know why I went for that. Ugh, boy. Like I was saying, don't really have a whole lot of confidence, especially when they're doubly invisible there. Oh, well. At some point in time, I should have just taken the survival. I guess I'm so used to having survival more often than not that didn't really think too much about it. Okay. Really, the knife thrower is going to be the more frightening of the duology there. Same thing with pretty much anything that's not a zombie, if I'm being honest. Surprised you didn't die. Ah, there we go. All right. Doing a little bit better. Just really thinking that should take that survival. I keep thinking it because it's so true. Jump the gun. Whenever you get hit, you do get knocked off of a wall climb, which is very frustrating. That said, I should be able to regen most of this health. Also, another very good place to have Shrapnel Axe, just because of the extra... You know what? I'm just going to do this right now. There. I'm doing pretty good. I got a couple secret challenge rifts. I've gotten all the cursed chests thus far. I'm looking pretty good as far as stats go, well, compared to what you would normally expect in this type of run. So that's nice to know, at least. Still don't know how well I'm going to do against, say, a golem when I come up against one, but bridges, pass when you get there, etc. I say this like every episode, 5 to 6 times. 12 to 13 times or so. I mean, I was just watching one of the grindy episodes that I did recently, and that was like... I think I said something along the lines of, I'll see in time maybe 67 episodes, 67 parts throughout the entire episode. At least it felt like it. Okay. Ah. Really hoping... Okay, managed to... Well, that was a frustrating amount of damage taken, but I'm actually doing okay now. I'd like to say that it was probably a good idea that I took the... probably a good idea that I took the extra little bit of survival back there, eh? In fact, I'm gonna double up on that. You're going through hell, keep going and all that. Actually, this is like the opposite of that, because the plan is to pay with a lack of damage right now for an advantage later. I like that, but ideally I would just get some other form of poison right now. Okay. Alright. Now, this is just ripe for getting hit by a golem, so I'm going to be extra cautious to not walk too forward. And indeed, right there. In fact, let's just kind of let him go by. Letting days go by, water flowing underground. And not even fret. Okay, if I can get like 6,000 or so, which would probably be just fighting an elite. Any elite. Pick an elite, any color. And be able to afford the potion charge. Be back up at full potion charges. I'd be feeling pretty good. Be feeling pretty confident. To the point that I think it would be a good idea to probably go for something like Dead Inside in the next area. And, you know, just rest easy knowing that my potions should be able to cover me if I fall a little bit behind on regen. Because the regen is slight. It provides me a little bit of a bubble, but it doesn't provide a huge amount of, well, actual regen as you would expect. So... Okay, good. Because I always fall for that stomp attack. Whenever he decides to go full Stompodon on me, it's a bad look. It's a bad time. Yes, I remember that I had this up here. That's not true at all. I almost forgot. Okay. Poison synergy doing me quite well there. And, I don't think it's worth taking. I'm doing a lot better for health, and I'm going to be doing even better after this section, so I'm going to just continue hanging on to what I got right now. Doesn't make a difference if we're living or not. Bruce Springsteen references. Despite the amount that I have listened to that dude, I have not made as many as you would expect. Same with like Mr. John Cougar Mellencamp. I think I made like a, you know, ditty about Jack and Diane type of reference before. Should be doing more, considering the amount of times that I've heard Mr. Cougar's songs. Alright. And okay. Still looking pretty good here. Still pretty... Boy, for not wanting to fight these guys, I sure am fighting them a lot. Do not eat that. That will curse you, and that's what you would call bad. I think I should be okay at this point to not take too much more damage and let Necromancy kind of take care of the rest, especially since I buffed it up quite a bit since the beginning of this area. Okay, 34,000 I think should be able to afford me a potion charge. I'm going to have to make quite a trek because teleporters are always few and far between when it comes to this area, after all. There are still two more cursed one more cursed chest that I'll be able to take in this run if and I so choose. I don't know if I'm going to choose. Nailed it. A good little bit of regen and a good lot of bit of not getting hit by a bomber or a bombardier if it decides to see me. All right, just right up here, and then we should be good to go. G2G, as I like to say. I don't like to say that, but I just wanted you to think that for some reason. 5 cells, too. Still not the most useful set of... And there we go. You know, I thought they at some point changed the... Thank you. I thought they at some point changed the ability for bats to give you regen from necromancy. I guess that was rolled back at some point or something. I mean, there are definitely changes that I haven't quite been paying attention to recently that have been occurring nonetheless. One of them, I think, is the fact that knife throwers no longer get stunned when you walk into them. Or at least it definitely seems like that from what I can tell. Because let me tell you, I've been walking into a lot of knife throwers, and they do not seem to be getting stunned. Maybe they're just getting stunned for such a short amount of time that I'm not even noticing it. Oh well, I'm not gonna let it get to me. I'm just gonna creep down Pumpkin Hill. Let's go. I'm pretty sure that I have not... Yeah, I'm far past the time here, and kill count is nowhere near as robust as I would like it, so I will just learn to live. Alright. Well, I guess I'm going to get that last curse chest then. Because I forgot that I already re-rolled my mutations once in this run. And hence, demand went up, so... I can charge a lot more for that. I do get the feeling that Guion is the type of character who believes that if people want something, they should be charging for it. Nothing and nothing. No thing down here. You don't get dual item runes when you're going single items. They just completely disappear from the game. Which is fine. I knew the risks when I started up this run, after all. Same thing with that. I think almost more than anything, I'm more worried about, like, maybe, like, running into a trap or something. Like I said, I'm going to get cursed one more time, just as a matter of making sure that I'm statted out as much as I can. Yep, I knew I was going to get hit there. If I'm lucky, I might be able to just not only regen, but also rally up a decent amount of my health. When you're poisoned, it's a good time to attempt to get as much rally as possible. I do also want to save... I'm just going to get cursed if I take that. I'm going to keep it if I need emergency healing, but... as it is, I'm going to be getting cursed right now anyway. So, kind of a wash now, isn't it? It all comes out here, the wash. Anything of interest? Nah. it was poison or something, I might... No, actually, I wouldn't take it, because then I'd be losing out on a lot of damage. Or a lot of health. A lot of damage. For some reason, damage and health are interchangeable in my mind, so that it's like, damage I can take equal health. So they're basically both damage, right? Right? Oh, you know they are. I was very worried there for a moment, but as it turns out, it was used fine. Okay, this'll work. And there we go. Easy enough. Nothing to be worried about, eh, Luigi? And that's the last cursed chest that I should be encountering for the game. So, from this point on, I should be totally fine to not get killed immediately. Just gotta make sure, especially after this point, it's like definitely two-cell mode. It seems like there is a, you know, it's easy at the beginning just due to the fact that, there. If I need to, I will, but as of right now, I don't need to, so I won't. But yes. The beginning is very easy just because, you know, the enemies are pretty weak. End is, as soon as you start to get, you know, your run going, everything like that, still pretty, it gets pretty difficult. And then by the time you get to the end, you know, your run is mostly complete, you know what you're doing, you got a lot of health stored up, everything like that, and it becomes, well, maybe not easy, but at least less risky at that point. Used to be like that a lot in the past as well. In fact, I would say like the beginning of the game was probably the hardest, just due to the fact that you were often not working with the type of items that you would like to. And then end was pretty much a non-issue because of the crazy scaling. Okay. And obviously 5-cell mode, 4 and 5-cell mode doesn't really apply due to the fact that enemies are just hit you much easier, so melees is so much more of an issue. And the fact that they're just tougher enemies at the end of the game entirely. So it becomes a little bit easier in... It's like pretty much the exact reverse. Flip that script right upside down. Easiest in mid-game, where you have kind of a build going, and then it becomes much more difficult late game, when enemies become, well, more difficult again. Oof, I am worried about this area here with the idea that I might be taking darkness damage. Which I am right now, by the way. Yep. Sure am taking that darkness damage. Alright. Not enough that I'm going to go take that watermelon. The watered melon is going to be... is not going to be televised this time. Could be going for the combo, but I don't really need to right now. This one, I get the double damage and all that, but it's just like, yeah, it's not really that important. I suppose I should still kind of keep that in mind just in case, but just in case, you know, I do find myself maybe taking some damage due to the fact that I'm not killing enemies fast enough, but as of right now, I would say that even only at 20 points into brutality, this is where the other cursed chest would be, I'm still doing okay. Yeah, I had people saying last time they weren't entirely sure if I should be doing a 2-cell mode or 3-cell mode because it seemed too easy. I think 2-cell mode is a good mix of difficult without being too difficult, because I do think that 3-cell mode would definitely be getting into that realm of play. What am I even saying right now? I've got to keep the mind space on difficulty v fun up. It's part of the SEO optimization. Just wait like I don't know, 2 more years in this channel's life, and I will only be talking like that. Look forward to it. Or don't, because it sounds terrible. Alright, if I can get the 60 kills, I might be able to get an upgrade for my axe, and that would actually be really fantastic for... because I should be able to re-roll it to get 100% on a poison target very easily. keep my synergy, do a lot of extra damage, I would like it quite a bit. Ah, I see where I'm going. Getting kind of flipped around here with how large this area is. As you do in the Sepulchre. That's like its entire shtick. And somebody called me out last time on like, oh yeah, it's really easy to deal with the darkness. I know exactly how to deal with darkness. How do you do it? Don't get hit by the darkness. No. What you're supposed to do is just keep in mind that every single teleporter is going to have a light next to it, basically. That's the most important thing. So, and every single teleporter tends to be at any sort of big junction. So if you are in like a big level chunk area, for example, like this thing here, all you got to do is make sure that you're not going to like every single one of the corners of this area and that you're just kind of going in like one direction, up, down, left, right, and you should hit up a teleporter right at the end of it, like right there. Same thing here. I always know there's a teleporter near the clock room. Always a teleporter also near the other a light source near the teleporters. You know what I'm saying here. It took me quite a few sayings of teleporter. Is this better? No. It took me quite a few sayings of the word teleporter to realize that I was doing it wrong. Yeah, I don't know how I didn't get hit there either. But I got a handle on it now. There's one more area over here. I'll just check it on the off chance there might be another stat. Because, hey, I ain't going to turn down stats. Oh, this just leads up to something else. And actually, I should be hanging around here for a little bit longer just to see if I can get the 60 kills. Because I'm so close right now that it would be a good idea. If I get hit even once, I'm out of here. But as it is, maybe I just didn't leave enough enemies around here to... Okay. Well, so much for that. Time to book her out of here. What a terrible idea that was. Oh, well, they can't all be great ideas, can they? I should get a potion charge coming up here. I think you get a potion charge before this fight, so that's okay with me. I mean... Oh, I'm mad. Well, I will get my mutations back after this fight, then. I'm still pretty mad, though. Can't believe I didn't get that much money. It seemed like that would have been easy to. All right, let's go. Yeah, damage is just fine here. Well. Yeah, nice. No, the synergy's working great. And I think my projectiles also get bonus from the poison, I think. All right, fine, whatever. I've already given up my... Okay. I've already given up my perfect fight. That's totally okay. I still am not a huge fan of those perfect fight doors. I think that they're too difficult to get to, really. It's like requires a little bit too much. What you get? Nah. Requires perfect play, especially in these boss fights. I mean, it can be easy if you have the right build, but you so often don't. I don't think that you hardly ever get into those things if you're just starting out, I would think. Incomplete one would be the only possible one where that would happen pretty regularly. All right, I'm going to take Dead Inside. I'm going to continue taking Necromancy. And then I think Vengeance would be good. It's a lot of extra. I think I'm just going to take Soldier's Resistance. Just really make sure that I have a ton of health here. 36,000 ain't nothing to sneeze at when it comes to 2-cell mode, certainly. It would be something to sneeze at in 5-cell mode. You sneeze all you want, because that's actually not all that much. Even like 60,000 is not that much in that mode. You will be taking a lot of damage. If you only have that, you take a lot of damage even if you have that much health. There we are. And there we go. Whew. I still have maximum amount of potion charges. I don't know. How did I not get hit there? Being a little bit too generous with the hitboxes, it feels like. Anyway. Now, if I get enough money, I think that hitting up this shop here for... Yeah, you would actually be great. 50,000 is a tall ask, though. Ugh. Right, take care of you, and then take care of you. Don't have a shield, which is the one thing that prevents you from taking too much damage from that attack, so... Still got to be careful. Don't want to be hasty, after all. Anyway, what you got? Nope, not... I mean, that is 200%, but it needs to at least minimum be 100% on poison target. I've been hauling this axe around this entire time. I'm not gonna get rid of it just right now. Hey, nice. Okay. Would like to get an improved version of this if I could. Alright then. Inquisitors and tons of just the most fun enemies to deal with here. I guess it's better than demons, to be honest, but by only so much. Oh boy, this is gonna be fun on a bun. It's okay. I'm actually doing surprisingly good not getting hit here until exactly right then. Until exactly right then. Alright, 50,000 is just not gonna happen. I'm gonna go for all 3 keys, though. I don't... It's not as good as when I was working with the... I don't have as good of a build as when I was working with the... Every time I get hit by that. Let's just actually use a potion charge here. To take out all 3 of the mini bosses as when I was working with the Thunder Shield, but it's still quite good regardless. Yeah, no. Cutting that out right now. I gotta remember that, first off, not to actually slam down on enemies, not part of the run, but also that enemies are not going to be teleporting after me. I mean, that is something that I forget a lot, and I would like to say for good reason. Alright, on different y-axes, these guys, making it pretty easy to take them down. And then I'm not even going to be trying to do this legitimately. We're going to be outranging this guy entirely just to make sure that I don't accidentally, well, malaise myself up for 1, but for 2, I'll take a lot of undue damage. I mean, I got 3 more potion charges, but there's always a good chance that I'm going to be losing those sooner than later. You can see kind of what I'm talking about with the somewhat lackluster damage that you're getting from the weapon here. I mean, something like the Thunder Shield was crazy powerful at this point, but I think I also had more points of survival at that time. Ooh, nice. And we gotta make sure to watch out when it comes to... There we go. When it comes to this area, don't you? Anyway, I'm not tremendously worried about the dual tracker fight. I am tremendously worried about the slasher fight. The elite slasher fight, I think, is going to be the toughest of the 3 of them here. Just because that dude is fast and powerful. I can't believe I killed that bomber just with the upward swing. I would have gotten hit if I continued going up. If I continued going up like that, I would have gotten hit by those spikes, and that would have been quite embarrassing. Well, anyway, I went the complete wrong direction anyway. There we go. Yeah, even though the regen is pretty minor, I'm still getting a lot of use out of it regardless. Kind of want to activate that elite, because that would be an easy way to get a decent amount of money. Enough to get that extra axe? Probably not, but I don't know. It would be an easy fight regardless. Okay. And gotta watch out because the Hand of the King does block projectiles. So I'm not going to be able to poison him easily with the projectiles that I'm getting off my secondary axe. Again, they don't teleport after. Don't get hit by that again. Retain some of your dignity. For now. It'll be gone soon enough. You're playing video games for the internet after all. Me. Doesn't matter, but might as well. It's not like the extra 100 gold that I get from that is going to be, you know, making all the difference. And if it does, I don't want to know. Don't let me know. I want it to be a surprise for me as well. Might hit an enemy here, but... Oh, no, I didn't. That's good. It's a risk I was willing to take. Because, again, it's not like these runs have a whole lot of stakes, after all. It's a vegetarian run like that. Oh, there's Malaise. 1, well, 2 points. But with that inside, it's worrying. That said, that wasn't as big of a hit as I thought it was going to be. I have done a pretty good job thus far making sure that I have a lot of health, which was obviously a pretty big part of the run. I mean, I do think that, you know, you gotta have a little bit of self-care in that way after all, just to make sure that you're not gonna be getting hit too hard. Not gonna be getting the 60 kill door, but I can live with that. Now here's the question. How close am I to the end? It's gotta be like right around here. And then I want to say that I have a pretty good shot against the Hand of the King. I saw you down there. I also saw you right there. I mean, while you're mashing out combos, you always want to keep like your peripheral vision available to. Cool. Might be able to still rally up a decent amount of this. Nope, not at all. To everything else that's going on is what I was going to say there, but fine. This is also an area that I've already been to, so, you know, hey, whatever. Must be the money. Might actually be worth, like, taking Tainted Flask if I can afford it. I need, like, 50,000 gold to be able to re-roll my mutations, but just to get the extra damage alone, because I could see that being pretty good. I don't know about you, but that's a lot of extra damage when you take Tainted Flask. And I still got 2 flask charges, and I want to say at this point probably not going to be losing any more flask charges unless something goes horribly, terribly wrong. Which I mean, never say never and all that, but I mean, there are traps around here after all, so. I'm bad at dealing with traps. This is going to be one of those points when I, like, find the exit, like, literally the last place that it's possible to look, and then I'm going to be mad. What? How did I not get hit there? What was that? Like, that definitely looked like I should have gotten hit there. Strange. All right, come on. How many more? Ooh. Nice. How many more areas could there possibly be around here? I was saying the damage was kind of lackluster, and that is remaining true as ever. It just looks like a treasure chest up there. I guess it's going to be above the slasher door. That's the only thing that I'm looking at right now that would make any sense for where the exit would be. Always love when it's find the exit in the castle time. Gotten everything pretty much cleared out, and now I just need to take a whole lot of extra damage trying to suss my way out of here. All right. You're just literally right here? Oh, you sure are. Isn't you now? 175 damage, unless I get a very good... Ooh, that's interesting. But it's not actually worth it. It would need to be poison. I would need to have poison, extra damage on poison for that to be, you know, like a truly stellar amount of extra damage. Burning, etc. I guess for the extra. Lose a little bit of my health, but gain a little bit of extra damage just by getting another point of brutality. I think that sounds like a fair trade. Alright, here we are. Very end. All I gotta do is nail this one, and we should be coolio. Yep, ain't happening. Oh, well. Yeah, as much as I would like that, it's not like it's absolutely necessary to beat this boss or anything. It would just be a nice amount of extra damage. I would enjoy it. I would find it a pleasant experience. Alright, let's go. Definitely gonna have to do the poison, and then... Ooh, not bad damage. And... Alright, not terrible. Not terrible. Of course, second phase is always the one where it's like, you know, rubber hits the road and all that. Adrenaline would have also been another interesting take here. That was weird. Would have also been another interesting take here. Just because I am curious as to how much damage it would be doing right now. Okay, good. She managed to get the dodge on that. That's fine, as long as I didn't get hit into the spike pit. Well, that's a little bit less fine, but honestly should be getting to the third phase pretty quick. I'm just actually going to wait for the thing to explode. There we go. There's one more potion charge. Oh, okay, well, that was not quite the acrobatics that I was doing. There was not quite what I wanted, but that's fine. Come on. Okay. And just to make sure. And then we should probably have big hit here. Yeah. Yeah, it's not so much that, you know, like, 2-cell is too easy or anything. I think it's just that Thunder Shield was that good. And there. Nailed it. Alright, yeah, I do... I mean, pretty much it's the exact same thing as I said at the start of the run. Little bit, it just lags behind in damage. It's otherwise, like, a very versatile, good weapon. Would probably work quite well in a hybrid, like, brutality and tactics run, but I don't know. I just don't think that it has the damage that it requires to, like, be a normal type of brutality weapon. To beat a normal type of brutality weapon.